I mean, I was very, very lucky in as much I joined the sales profession back in the sort of mid-70s, sorry, mid-80s, early 90s, and there were sales schools, IBM, Xerox, Olivetti, all of those guys took salespeople through a sale, learning how to sell. We don't do that today. So Barry, it doesn't surprise me. It just saddens me that the sales profession hasn't learned and still refuses to do so.
Well, it's worse than you think. IBM, Pitney Bowes, Xerox, ADP were the companies that trained America's sales force in many ways globally as well. And you're right, that still does happen. They do have training and onboarding and sales enablement, but it's much more accelerated. And it's the other thing that used to happen. I mean, IBM used to have offices with 500 sales reps in them. And now with everybody working, from home, working remotely, there's still sales offices, but you may or may not, be having get-togethers with 20 or 30 at a time. And it used to be, a rep would come back and say, "Oh my God, I got stripped on this call today." And some veteran would say, "Well, what happened?" "Well, the guy asked me this question," and it's like, "I had nothing." And I said, "Okay, you know what? Here's my answer when they ask me that question, but I'll tell you what, let's go back there tomorrow." And they'd go back together. Okay, that's not happening these days either. So I agree with you, Hugh. It's a tougher environment now, and you're right about all of these data points not changing. I think the relationship thing dropping to 9th place is somewhat new. The other thing I would say, and I'll make a plug for this because it's also over in Europe. I'm on the advisory board of the Sales Education Foundation. I'll provide that link for you later. When that started, gosh, I'm going to say 17 years ago, I think there were 36 schools. So there's something like 3,452 colleges and universities in the US. 36 had any kind of sales program. Today, there are over 200, and the SEF lists those in their annual magazine. And they either have a degree or a certificate in sales. And the graduates from those programs are just scooped up like this. I mean, it's just fabulous. So the good news is some things have changed.
Only 4 of them in the UK.